You have science. I have a nutritionist. I have a chef. I have a performance coach. You have the technology today. So we can safely say I'll be able to make 147 without, this ain't going to be pleasant, but without causing my body any.
You got to call cap on a guy like Conor Benn. You know, right now, all he doing is attaching his name to guys like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, but he doesn't have any world-class opponents on his resume, right? Chris Eubank Jr., he looked phenomenal in that fight, but everybody know both of those fights, Chris Eubank Jr. was weight drained, right? And what I want y'all to understand is this is another promotional tactic from Eddie Hearn. He do this with everybody that he could benefit off. Conor Benn is not the goods. He looked good in that fight with Eubank, but he's not a world-class fighter. He'll never be a world-class fighter because he doesn't have any skills. Because he beat an Algieri, he's a world-class fighter. Algieri at the top of his game was getting beat up, right? Then who, a Peter Dobson? Come on, that was a competitive fight with a Peter Dobson. Peter Dobson beats nobody at the top level. Peter Dobson was an undefeated fighter, yes, but he had never been 12 rounds. Prior to the fight with him and Conor Benn, he had only been 10 rounds once. You know, and like I said before, skills matter, experience matter. And when Conor Benn faced a guy that's been fighting at a high level for a long time, you know, that experience gap is going to show. Call out Boots at 154. Why not call out Vergil Ortiz at 154 pounds? You know, why not call out Sender Sayas from Puerto Rico, you know, to try to make a fight happen? You know, why you want to call out these smaller guys or bring guys from higher weight classes down to fight you? You know, when are you going to pick a weight class and stay at that weight class and become something in that weight class? You know, Conor Benn is not an extraordinary talent. You know, it's a lot of guys from over there that are better than Conor Benn, but they just don't get the chance. Why? Because their dad wasn't a professional boxer. And understand this, Conor Benn is getting all of these opportunities not based off skill, merit, nothing in the sport. All because his father is somebody that's sold over there. You know, and like I said before, experience matters, resumes matters, level of opponents matter, the quality of those opponents matter. And Conor Benn don't check none of those boxes. Why not try to use your platform, being with Eddie, to make a Boots fight happen at 154? Why not try to make a Vergil Ortiz fight happen? A Sender Sayas fight happen? A Metaliev fight happen? You know, Bakram, ever since that impressive win he had with Zoo, ain't nobody calling his name. Why not make a fight like that happen at a weight closer to your weight class? Why you want to fight guys coming down or moving up? Why not make 154 pounds your division? You know, it'll be a lot more impressive if Conor Benn beat a guy like Boots as opposed to Haney moving up. He ain't even had 2 fights at 147 pounds yet, right? Conor Benn hasn't fought at 147 pounds since 2022. So that don't make sense. Versus either one of these guys doesn't make sense. Shakur is bringing to that ring a lot of IQ, a lot of skills, and so is Haney. You know, and Conor Benn doesn't have the skills to compete with the guys in the weight class he need to be fighting in.